Hey babe, welcome to the video. The lighting sucks. I don't care. We're talking about sleep paralysis. This topic is so fascinating to me. I love everything that has to do with the dream realm, astral projection, lucid dreaming. It's all so cool to me, and I like to record my dreams and write them down and analyze them and really pick up on the messages and when it comes to like psychic dreams and things like that. So, sleep paralysis is a topic that I've always been intrigued with because I don't have much experience with it, but it has happened to me two times that I remember very vividly. So, I'm going to talk about those two times, and I want to preface this video by saying every single night when we're in REM sleep, which is where we're dreaming, we enter sleep paralysis, which is where our body gets paralyzed because we're not really in our body anymore. So, the functioning of our body slows down so we can be in a different dimension pretty much. And I don't know the exact science behind this, but I do know that sleep paralysis happens more when you're like laying on your back, and then also when you're waking up, and also when you're falling asleep, when you're in between that place of being consciously aware and not. So I think it happens when your body is still asleep but your mind wakes up. So my experiences with this were terrifying. And sleep paralysis is always a really scary thing, I think, whenever it happens to people. And I'm not really sure why, but please talk about it in the comments because I want to know about your experiences. So this is what happened with me. I was in Costa Rica. This was about 2 or 3 years ago, and I had a really chaotic day. I was trying to get home and my flight got canceled, and I ended up at a hotel, and I had such a busy day and I was so tired, and I was like laying in the bed trying to go to sleep, and I remember like, okay, I'm trying to figure out where to start with this. It feels really real when it's happening, and this is what I remember from hearing other people's experiences. Like, you think that what you're hearing and what you're seeing is really happening, and I have chills thinking about it, and it kind of is really happening in other dimensions that's like overlapping with this one here, which is kind of scary. And I don't know why sleep paralysis is always scary, but yeah, so I was laying down like on my back flat, and I remember seeing, like, it happened very quickly, but it felt like a really long time. And it was like in the corner of my eye, my peripheral vision. I couldn't move at all. But I remember hearing the door open. Like, the way that I was in the hotel, there was like multiple doors in the hotel because there were like 3 rooms in the one room I was in, and it was just me in there. Nobody else was in there. It was completely dark. And I remember like vividly seeing and hearing one of the doors open, but I couldn't actually move my eyes or move my head because I was paralyzed. So I hear the door open, I see the door open, and then I see this really tall black figure walking like this way past me. And it was wearing like a really long coat and like a top hat, I think. I don't know for sure, but that was the vibe that I was getting. And I remember, oh, I just got chills. Like, this is scary. Why am I tearing on this? And I remember being so fucking scared because I was like, oh my god, like somebody just broke into my hotel. And I started screaming, but I couldn't make any sound, which was the weirdest thing. And I was like screaming and screaming and screaming because, I thought someone just fucking broke in. And then I don't know what actually got me out of it, but I jostled awake, and then I actually screamed in real life, but the noise that I made was so silent, and it was so funny. It was like, like that was the noise, but in my head I was like, like screaming at the top of my lungs. And yeah, that was pretty much it. So that was a really short story to tell, but it felt like it lasted forever, and it was so scary scary. It was terrifying. I hated it so much. And then the other time I had sleep paralysis was really long ago, before I even knew what sleep paralysis was. This was back when I was messing a lot with astral projection, and I was probably like 16 or 17 at the time, and I was laying in my bed in my parents' house, like the house I'm in right now, in my childhood room. Same thing, I was laying on my back. I think I was waking up this time, and I couldn't move. I was paralyzed. And I remember being like, I literally cannot move. And I heard somebody breaking into the house. This is becoming a pattern, I'm realizing. So I don't know what subconscious fear this is. Maybe sleep paralysis is just like showing you your fears, maybe, perhaps. And someone was breaking in the front door of the house, and I had this really strange vision of a dice. It was all super, super quiet, and no one was in the house in this sleep paralysis except me. Although in real life, like, everybody was sleeping. My parents were asleep, my sister was there, and but it was just me alone in the house, and the dice was like rolling down the stairs, and I could see it from where I was in my bed, but I wasn't actually there. I was like still in my bed. It was kind of like a vision I was having, and for some reason this like dice was making so much noise, like falling down the stairs, and it was really scary to me, and it was like signifying that when the dice hit the bottom of the stairs, whoever broke into the house was gonna hurt me. And yeah, and then I think I woke up out of it. Like, that literally seems like nothing. In my head, it's this whole long, elaborate story and this adventure, but it really wasn't that detailed. It just felt like a whole world that I was living in at the time. And I also remember trying to scream and not being able to scream and not being able to move, and genuinely thinking that I was like dead or something. And that's the scariest thing about sleep paralysis, is you can't move and you want to get out of it so bad, but you can't, and it just feels like it lasts forever. So yeah, I find that really fascinating. I don't know why I don't experience it anymore, or why I did experience it. I know it's really common for people who sleep on their back. Like, I had a friend who gets sleep paralysis all the time. He sleeps on his back. I don't know why he's still, I mean, sleeping on your back is really good for you. But he gets sleep paralysis like every single night, and it's terrifying. And then he tells me all the terrifying things that he sees, and it's really scary. So yeah, I'm curious to know why it's always something so freaky. Those are my experiences. The one in Costa Rica, bro, oh my god. It was the fucking scariest thing that's ever happened to me. I swear to God. Why, too? Like, why is that so scary? I guess just someone breaking in. I have low-key, like, trauma with that. That's never actually happened to me. So I don't know why that's such a fear in my reality. This happened, like, the other night, too. I was sleeping with Veda in the hotel, and the wind... This was not sleep paralysis. This is kind of unrelated. Now I'm just on a tangent. The wind blew open the hotel door. I thought it was locked, but apparently it wasn't. And I was deep in my sleep. The wind blew open the door, and it woke me up, and I freaked out because I thought somebody broke in. Why else would the door swing wide open? So that was a reality check. That was scary. And then also, the one time actually someone low-key did break in when I was sleeping. I was in Vegas, this was a couple months ago, and I was sleeping in somebody's van, like a big Sprinter van, and this fucking homeless guy broke into the van at like 6 o'clock in the morning, holding a machete, And I opened my eyes and I see this man staring at me while holding a machete. And then the guy who was sleeping in the van as well, like who owned, like that was his vehicle. I didn't have my car with me at the time, like whatever, I don't need to explain myself. He like jumped up and luckily saved the day, cause like men be on it like that, and so he jumped up and he took the guy outside. They like fought, I don't know, he took care of the situation. But yeah, that happened, and that's the only time someone's actually broken in, and I felt like I might lose my life. Not a good time. Yeah. But other than that, I'm safe and protected. Nothing is coming after me. Like, I feel really secure in my life, and I don't think anyone's gonna kill me. But if they do, that's just part of the plan. You know. Peace, love, happiness. Let me know what your sleep paralysis stories are. And I hope you have a really beautiful day. This video sucked. I was like, this is gonna be such a good video. I'm gonna talk all about sleep paralysis and yeah, it's kind of lame. I wish I could draw what happened to me. Maybe I should just make a painting about it. That shit was fucking scary. I'm talking about the one that happened to me in Costa Rica with the guy walking past me. I don't know if it was a man or anything. It was like a big entity. Like a really big, powerful. It wasn't necessarily scary or bad though. It was just dark. And it was like a shadow person. And I thought he was gonna kill me. But he didn't. And I'm alive still.